Here's your news for May 2nd, 2020, and some headlines for today. How soon fans could really return to WWE and AEW television. WWE and AEW fans could return to live events next week. Big news on Roman Reigns' return. Vince McMahon recently fell off a tower to demonstrate a spot for a WWE superstar. Is WWE putting an end to 205 Live? Leaked videos of retired WWE wrestler planning for an in-ring return. WWE's original plan for Rusev Day revealed. We're kicking off today with news from Florida, as the Sunshine State has revealed plans that could see wrestling crowds return in just a few days. The plan from the reopened Florida task force declares that sporting venues may be allowed to have up to 25% capacity on May 4th, but only if Governor Ron DeSantis agrees to it. The task force report reads, large spectator sporting events should use strict social distancing guidelines and limit occupancy of venues to 25% of building capacity. This means that if DeSantis agrees to it, wrestling promotions could have crowds back as soon as Monday. And while this week's editions of WWE and AEW were taped, Dynamite will be going live again this coming Wednesday. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was noted that next week's Dynamite will go live, and that the May 13th show will be taped either immediately after or most likely the next day. With the recorded capacity at the Daily Place where AEW have been filming content being 5,500, that means that 1,375 could theoretically attend this Wednesday's show. And this could also be fantastic news for the company's upcoming Double or Nothing pay-per-view. For WWE, their Performance Center has a capacity around 200 to 300, and though they could add more, an official capacity isn't listed. This means that the show could bring in 50 to 75 fans, which may not seem like a lot, but any voices responding to the product would do a world of good right now. And even before this, Vince McMahon stated in an investors call that they were already looking at how to bring fans into the PC. WWE has already laid down TV for next week's editions of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, so the earliest we could see fans return is the Raw after Money in the Bank on April 11th. Of course, this doesn't mean that AEW or WWE will have crowds for many weeks or even months, but given that they could change their TV taping schedule on a moment's notice, it's possible that they can choose to allow some fans into the building if DeSantis agrees to the proposal. Though Florida seems to be a hotbed for pro wrestling at the moment, they're not the only place wanting to allow the industry once again. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was noted that Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is trying to bring in wrestling, boxing, and MMA as a way to generate revenue, which would make this money by having live shows. The Observer also speculated on why these industries are being targeted, saying, the idea seems to be, from a political perspective, is that there will be far less scrutiny bringing sports that the media won't care about, and more so, that have no unions, so there won't be the same level of pressure from the outside on safety standards. The thought process behind this is that the states that open venues first will see an influx of people attending shows in that area, and while that may be good for business, it could lead to some very serious concerns on the ongoing global situation. We've got news from Roman Reigns, as after not competing at WrestleMania due to his immunocompromised condition, fans haven't heard much of the big dog. Though Reigns showed up to Mania with the plans of wrestling Goldberg, he withdrew after a complicated situation backstage, as The Miz was ill at the venue, and Reigns wisely opted not to stay much longer. It wasn't long after that Vince McMahon issued an order saying that Roman's name is not to be spoken on TV. Now the company have distanced themselves further from the former Universal Champion, as the Wrestling Observer noted that the WWE's latest Make-A-Wish video doesn't feature Reigns at all, saying, one thing really notable in the recent Make-A-Wish video showing all the top talent doing wishes was no Reigns. 1 month ago, he'd have as many, if not more scenes than anyone else in such a video. It's no secret that Roman's done a ton of work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation over the years, and it's entirely possible that fans don't see the big dog until the current global situation is fixed, meaning fans may not see Roman until December this year or even longer. Hopefully this doesn't strain the relationship between Roman and WWE too much, though it's unclear if Vince will push him to the moon like before when he returns. But it's hard to blame the big dog for being safe, as he's looking to protect himself, his wife, and the twins that the couple have on the way. Speaking of things that fans aren't watching, 205 Live continues to struggle. as it seems that fans aren't looking to turn from Fox to the WWE Network following Friday Night SmackDown. The WWE aren't exactly jumping to give fans a reason to tune in though, as the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that there was no 205 Live taping after last week's SmackDown and a highlight episode ran instead. They said, "Once again, they didn't tape anything for 205 Live. Makes sense to just do clip shows. It's only for WWE Network and few watch it anyway. It's pretty much dead given the Cruiserweight title tournament is on NXT and not on 205 Live." With the Cruiserweight title now under the NXT brand and being defended on Wednesday nights, there's seemingly little reason for fans to tune in to 205 Live, especially given the Cruiserweight title tournament, which is delivering fast-paced matches each week on the Gold brand. Fans will have to wait and see what the future holds for 205 Live, but things certainly don't look good for the Purple brand. One show fans will be watching this month is Money in the Bank, and on the latest SmackDown, Daniel Bryan appeared in the opening segment and revealed some very interesting information about the show. Bryan, who will be competing in the men's ladder match, said that both the men's and women's matches will take place at the same time, as it appears that this will be quite a cinematic, chaotic experience. As a former Mr. Money in the Bank himself, Bryan knows all about winning the match, and time will tell which two superstars will walk away with the coveted briefcases, presumably at the same time. From SmackDown to Raw now, as next week's show will see WWE Champion Drew McIntyre face Murphy in non-title action. The match comes after the Australian star took a Claymore kick during last week's contract signing, where McIntyre and Seth Rollins made their match for Money in the Bank official. Back to SmackDown now, as Carmella and Otis both qualified for their respective Money in the Bank ladder matches. For Carmella, she qualified by defeating Mandy Rose thanks to a distraction by Sonya Deville, while the Golden Goddess's man fared much better, defeating Dolph Ziggler in a WrestleMania rematch. This means that the women's field is now set, though the men's match still has one spot open that'll be determined on Monday Night Raw. Speaking of Money in the Bank, the company's slogan for the show has certainly raised some eyebrows, as the company are saying, quote, "The risk is worth the reward." While in a different year the phrase would simply be referring to the painful ladder match, many are seeing it as WWE's response to critics who don't like the idea of running shows during this time, as we can't imagine WWE's marketing team are unaware of how this unfortunate line could be interpreted. We've got news from Corey Graves next, as in the past, the retired superstar turned commentator said that he is trying to get medically cleared and took a big step this week. Though it's unclear if he's close to returning like Edge, Graves did knock off some ring rust with his brother Sam Adonis, who posted a video of the Raw and SmackDown commentator running the ropes, the first time the brothers have shared the ring together in 5 years, and said the former NXT Tag Champion has still got it. It's unlikely that Graves will be allowed to return to the ring, but given that stars like Edge and Daniel Bryan were able to come back, it seems anything is possible. Though Graves may one day wrestle in WWE again, one man who won't is Rusev, who was released on April 15th alongside many superstars, including Aiden English. Speaking to Inside the Ropes, English revealed that he lucked into working with Rusev, as the original plans for the pair would have ended with English helping Rusev defeat Randy Orton in September 2017, only for the Viper to get his revenge the next week. He said, "It got such a good response both in the arena and social and everything that they're like, well, let's do something next week. Get the tux back and we'll do something else." And then it was like a backstage, and then they were like, "Okay, well, let's do something else." And all of a sudden it was like, "Alright, well, now you're gonna come with him on live events." This was the start of a huge thing for the pair, and while he isn't in WWE anymore, English has confirmed he's not done in the ring, despite the company having him on commentary before his release. One person who isn't going to be released soon is Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, who recently spoke to TV Insider about none other than the boss, Vince McMahon. Stating that the CEO is, quote, "larger than life," the man gave an example of just how dedicated McMahon is. "Vince is such a larger-than-life character. At the same time, I watched him the other day demonstrate falling off a tower at 74 years old without a bother, brushing his shoulders off and standing up again." It's likely that this fall was related to the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches that'll be filmed at WWE headquarters, and hopefully whoever Vince was giving an example to will be able to pull it off correctly. One man who knows McMahon very well is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but this friendship doesn't mean the Great One is afraid of competing with the WWE. The Titan Games, which is hosted by the Brahma Bull, is coming back to NBC on May 25th, with episodes being taped long before the current situation, and the show will air exactly at the same time as Monday Night Raw. The Wrestling Observer newsletter pointed out that there's no way this can make Vince McMahon happy, and that's probably right, as though the show is just an hour long, it'll still take a bite out of WWE's ratings, especially since last season easily brought in 6 million viewers each week. Back to Raw now, as following Apollo Crews' injury, a gauntlet match has been announced to determine his replacement in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. A spot in the match opened up after Crews injured his knee during a US title match against Andrade, and the High Flyer was shown on crutches later in the show. As of right now, Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, King Corbin, Daniel Bryan, and Otis have all qualified, and this last chance gauntlet match will take place on this Monday's show. WWE have not announced any participants for the match, though it's likely that Austin Theory and MVP will be involved, as they came up short in qualifying matches on Raw, while Murphy, who also lost his qualifying match, will face Drew McIntyre. It's also possible that Andrade will be involved in the match, given that it was him who injured Crews, as the United States Champion may soon be looking to add the WWE Championship to his collection. We've got some news from AEW now, as Cody Rhodes has commented on whether his company will sign any of the recently released WWE superstars. In 2020 alone, AEW has picked up many former WWE talent, including Matt Hardy and Brody Lee, and are likely to be picking up The Revolt and possibly Zack Ryder, the latter of whom is good friends with Rhodes and was praised on an Instagram Live by the AEW Executive VP. When Heath Slater's name was brought up as a potential AEW signee, however, Rhodes clearly wasn't a fan of the one-man Southern rock band, saying, "Nope, no on Heath Slater." It wasn't long before Slater responded to this denial, telling Cody, "I know you're a new businessman, but that was a bad business decision." It may still be some time until AEW or any other promotions start taking on new stars due to the regulations issued by various states, but while AEW is still presenting Dynamite each and every week, fans shouldn't expect to see Slater anytime soon. And finally, today we're ending with news from Jeff Hardy now, as the charismatic enigma is returning to SmackDown soon enough and has an idea on who he wants to face in the ring. Appearing on After the Bell, Hardy spoke about what the future holds for him, and it seems the former World Heavyweight Champion wants a piece of Brock Lesnar. He said, "I had totally forgot I was his first match in WWE. I had totally forgot about that. So maybe, yeah, there's one more thing I would love, to get my kicked by him again, maybe. He's just intimidating and insanely gifted. To be as successful as he was in the MMA world, he's just amazing, so yeah, that'd be interesting. Maybe that could be my last match. I was his first match, he can be my last." Older fans will remember a rookie Lesnar destroying Hardy in their Backlash 2002 encounter, and while the prospect of the Beast demolishing an older Hardy, who has a lot of mileage on his body, sounds terrifying, it could be a fitting way for Jeff to end his career.